Okay, hello, welcome to episode 359 of the Self with me,
Yeah,
my good pal Sean Orford. How are you doing, Sean?
I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. Life's a bit tough now.
Yeah, what for you or for people you're dealing with, or both?
Both. Well, it kind of it feeds through really. I mean, I'm at the phase in the COVID cycle where the deaths are starting to. I'm starting to deal with the deaths, so they're feeding through. And one of which was a couple of days ago, a guy that I would have thought was a colleague and a friend. Really, I've known really well for over 12 years. He died a couple of days ago, and there's all the ramifications of that. And it's like everything in a death of a loss anyway. It's the ripple effect that you have to deal with that goes out through people and goes out through time. And the biggest problem at the moment is because of the coronavirus, you can't really do anything about it. Which makes me feel a bit kind of helpless in what I would normally be able to do. So I've got my own frustrations in it all, as well as my own losses and things.
Well, let's hope if even the superhero of Zen, Sean Orford, is having a little. There's hope for us all.
I just keep meditating. So this afternoon I was meditating in the garden, and I had a gap, so I did some meditation, and it was red hot, and my face is gone. It's burning. I can feel the heat.
Yeah, it was pretty warm out there today. Yeah, I was out there in a t-shirt, and I think I've gone a bit pink. But
yeah, how's life for you then?
Yeah, all right. Same old. Another week, another Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
every day is the same, isn't it? Yeah, I'm still quite enjoying it. I had a small little wobble last week. I think it was my dad's birthday, and we did go around, just kind of drop something off and wave from a safe distance and all that. And I wasn't upset or anything, but I was feeling a bit down in the dumps because I guess we're reaching that stage now. 4 weeks in the UK to proper lockdown, really, and a long way to go yet, possibly.
If you look at the evidence from Italy, the people got kind of excited about it in the first instance because now they could watch the box sets and do everything they could do online. But then it gets to a point, which is about now for us, where people start to get cabin fever. It's starting to kick in now. Like, okay, I've had enough now. Can we get back to whatever? And this is where the problems begin. And I suppose that's what I'm starting to pick up on, because it's not just the death issue. I'm having to deal with some violent issues in the homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And these kind of the pressure on people, it does bring out both the best and the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're just going to talk a bit, have a bit of bash a few ideas around. But you were sent a link, weren't you, which really got you thinking about?
Yeah. One of the guys at FMC, one of the factories, Andy, who is the health and safety guy, nice guy. He sent me this thing, which is a Tim Ferriss, who's the 4-hour work week, 4-hour day work week. Or was it 4 hours a week?
4-hour work week. I was just thinking,
yeah.
I can do something really clever. I can share my screen, can't I, with our audience that might be watching this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Podcast listeners, check out the show notes, and there'll be a link to this little chart. But yeah, we can throw it on screen, can't we? And flip it out.
Because I've got it on the screen next too, so it's like I can see it on the screen. That's
got to say, like, I know we're using Zoom again here and getting in the habit of it. I've been on a 2-day online course the last couple of days, which I'll talk a bit more about later. But Zoom, man, there's some clever stuff you can do. You can have little breakout rooms where little teams can go and chat on their own, and then everyone comes back in after 5-10 minutes. Yeah. It's clever.
Yeah, that's good.
I like it. This is attributed to Tim Ferriss, 4-hour work week guy who I was obsessed with for a good while, reading his books.
Yeah.
But the idea that from who do I want to be during COVID-19, and he highlights 3 zones that we can all plant ourselves in: the fear zone, the learning zone, or the growth zone.
And the interesting thing about those 3 zones is that he's relating them to the the COVID-19, but they're actually true of life as well, because I could see people in all three of these zones that are at different stages in different parts of their lives or different issues they're dealing with. So, yeah.
Which zone are you in right now, Sean?
I would hope I'm in the growth zone. I think that there's times when I'm still in the learning zone. And it's interesting when you do get into the growth zone, because then your energy is pointing outwards, and that's where community gets built. It's quite an interesting when you're looking at those the three phases. Yeah. So if you start off with the fear zone, can you remember everybody and the toilet paper fiasco? So toilet paper and pasta. Yeah.
I know, and it seems to be flour at the moment, although we did manage to get some flour at the weekend. I went into Co-op just to pick up a few bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, on the shelf in front of me, there were loads of bags of flour, and I grabbed a couple.
Right. I've got good stocks of flour because of the bread making, and my friend Claire has kept me going. She buys a lot of bulk flour, so when I've been a bit low, she's kept me going. She's good.
Very good. But yeah, that fear zone. So yeah, the toilet paper thing was quite interesting early on. I kind of assumed that it would bounce back, and that by the time everyone had got what they wanted, there'd be loads left anyway.
There was a case online I was reading about yesterday, I think, where there was a woman who's got 400 rolls of toilet paper that she bulk bought because she was so paranoid at the beginning that she now wants to get rid of, and she was trying to sell them online, and all she's had is abuse. People said, you wanted to hoard it, you keep them, and it's like, she's now got a lifetime supply of toilet rolls. Because I mean, in reality, you can go to anywhere now, whether it is Costco or at any of the supermarkets, and there's plenty of loo rolls.
Yeah,
we're back in. Yeah.
What do you know, man? What do you know? There's a quote you've put in your blog post this week. I don't know if this is yours or you copied and pasted it from somewhere on your travels. I'm not saying that you do that all the time in your blog posts. I'm just it's pretty. So it's never what happens to us that is important. What is important is how we respond. So
yeah, that comes from a guy, a Greek philosopher, a few thousand years ago, called Epictetus or Epictetus.
Yeah. Do you think people?
And he said that we're not affected by what happens to us ever. What we're affected by is how we respond to what happens to us. And that is so real for me. I remember the pictures of the Twin Towers being hit, and as it was happening live, there were two kinds of people. There were the people that were running away from the towers and the explosions, and the people that were running towards the towers and the explosions. Same event, different response.
Yeah.
Some people, what can I help? Some people, I need to get out of here and save me.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, that's what we got here.
Yeah, it's not necessary. If everyone was running towards the building,
it'd be a bit crowded.
We just because you're the type of person that runs away from something like that doesn't mean you're in the wrong or you're a bad person or you're weak necessarily, does it?
It might mean that you're the one person that survived, and everybody else died. I mean, it's been appropriate to the moment, I guess. And if you look at what's happening here, it's like that idea about I, me, mine, look after me. If we go through this process, it turns into what can I do for you? And we've started to see that. And I mean, the classic is Captain Tom, who last time I looked, he was up to nearly 28 million. I don't know how far it's got.
I think that's right. Yeah, I saw that this morning. 27. So
yeah, phenomenal. And there was a lovely thing on the news about a 17-year-old care assistant in an old people's home who had got this cushion made for one of the male residents with his wife's face on it, because he liked to go to bed and cuddle a picture, and the girl was worried because it was glass, he'd break it and damage himself. So she went and got him this thing done. Oh. And when she gave it to him, God, was he emotional. It was such a lovely thing. And I'm thinking, what a lovely young woman to think about that and to do that.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I meet lots of good young folks out and about on my travels.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's cool. Um, I'm thinking, we were talking last week about how, or maybe the week before, all these weeks are starting to merge into one of them, about how long habits take to form and how long they take to kind of embed. You talk about the 30-day, the 60-day, and the 90-day periods
Yeah,
of time. You know, we're through 30 days now on this
yeah.
little adventure.
And if we're not careful, the negative habits that we're developing, if we are developing them, are going to start to get embedded into everyday behavior, which means when it comes to the other end and we've got to reverse things, it's really, really difficult. Which is why people do need to be doing things now, like, maintaining exercise, maintaining routine, and doing all that kind of stuff, not just becoming slobs.
Yeah.
When you become a slob, it's really hard to get going at the other end.
Yeah, tricky cycle to get out of that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
But then if you think about the fear zone, people that are in fear are in levels of anxiety. And I always see it as when fear is in you and it becomes externalized, usually it comes out as aggression, which is what I'm seeing as a bit of domestic violence in the home, especially if it's got a bit of alcohol in it, becomes fueled. And when you get to the point where that fear, that anxiety is going internalized inwards, that creates an internal depression. So you get kind of aggression outwards and depression inwards. And I'm dealing with both at the moment with people. And it's like, if you are being aggressive or you feel that inside you, talk to someone. Just go online and talk to someone. Process it, get it off your chest. Yeah. And if you're feeling depressed internally, it's like, start to do things. That's when you do need to go online and do an exercise regime or do something. Create some routine in your life, get it moving, get it working.
Yeah, well, so we've got the fear zone there on screen, and beyond that, the next stage is the learning zone. So I feel like I'm kind of doing a pretty good job at this next one, but this is where it says, first of all, I start to give up what I can and can't control. Yeah, you think you're doing a good job at that, Sean?
I think that I bat between learning and the growth zone. I think that there are times, and especially, like I say, these last few days, I've been battered a bit by the stuff I've had to deal with. And I do find that hard sometimes, overloading. And I have to increase my meditation and make sure I look after me at that point, because it's dead easy to just get a bit morose, Yeah. I mean, how do you feel you're getting on in the learning zone? I mean, you're now a stay-at-home dad who's trying to work and look after kids. If you're going to give yourself an Ofsted report on your homeschooling, how would it go?
Well, could do better. I'm certainly not excellent or whatever the top one is. I'm good. Yeah. I don't think I need special measures or anything like that yet.
So are we in needs improvement or?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was, yes, I've got the kids for the next 3 days because my wife's a teacher and her shift in school is up, so she's doing that. So I'll be fine. Just today it was a bit weird because I'm on a 2-day online course, which I need to do really because my attendance is dependent on some grant funding that I will get at the end.
Yeah.
Of course. So I had to be on the call really.
Yeah.
I spoke to the person leading it beforehand just to see if I was all right. And she said, just go for it, So I had my phone in my pocket with my earbuds, an earbud in one ear and the microphone here. And I just had my video cam. It was on Zoom. So I had the camera switched off and my audio on mute. And I was just listening in really as I was teaching the lads too, running through all their exercises, like all their activity sheets that we got.
Oh, well done.
Year 3 activity sheets. We got loads of stuff here that's been left out for me. Like, it's handy being married to a teacher right now, I must say.
It sounds like you're becoming a multitasker.
Big time. So yeah, I was doing that. For 2 boys, so I was kind of hopping between stations for them, giving them stuff to do, and then I was keeping an ear out for what I was supposed to be learning. And every now and again, the person delivering the course would and asked for a bit of feedback from everyone. So, Edward, how are you doing? What do you think of that? Like, quick, unmute myself. Yeah, I'm still here. And I was putting the icons on to say hands up and thumbs up and all that. So they knew that I was still online.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot at the moment, you know, not just on courses, but also about what I can do and the things I'm capable of. So yeah, it's really good fun actually. I mean, I'm not in a place. Thankfully I'm not in a position where I'm like bored out of my mind. I haven't been furloughed. I've still got loads of emails coming in. I've got 3 businesses that I'm trying to juggle and a family. So I keep thinking whether I would like to have more time, because when this all started, I was thinking, oh, brilliant, yeah, I can finally get through that book I've been trying to read. I can watch a couple of movies that I've had on the shelf. There's some little side projects I wanted to do, some writing even, but I've been too busy to crack on with that. So I'm not sure whether, I don't know, I'm happy where I am.
The only thing we have done as a family is we've watched the 3 Hobbit movies and the 3 Lord of the Ring movies.
Wow.
It was one of our targets to do, so we've done that.
You checked that all off, have you? Very good.
Yeah. I don't think I could do Game of Thrones again. It's a bit long, that.
Well, that's on our list actually. We've got access to that. We've never seen it, but
Right.
so far we haven't. But it's early days, man, isn't it? This could be going on for a while longer yet, I think.
Yeah. I think it's going to go on for longer than we expected.
Yeah, I was chatting with someone last night. The long tail of all this stuff is years.
But that issue about can we turn this experience into a learning experience where we actually look at it in terms of, okay, what do I need to learn today? And all that stuff about learning to be happy, learning to focus on the positive stuff, not negative stuff, live in the present, as we would say, live in the moment, actually be here and enjoy it. And maybe looking at ways that you can adapt the situation that you're in to better fit you and to better fit the people around you. I mean, you're having to do that with the kids. Yeah. The kids must be quite demanding when you're trying to do something with your headphones on.
They're pretty good on the whole. They're a good age, my two. I mean, they can entertain themselves for very long periods if need be. But I don't want to neglect them. And they have their own little routine in the day, or that they have their little ups and downs. So that, they'll be bouncing in the morning, and then they'll settle down, and then they'll have some lunch, and then they'll go quiet in the afternoon a bit again. But then come this time, 6:30, or even before, after tea, you can tell that they've got a bit of cabin fever.
Yeah.
So
I'm contacting quite a few people online at home, and so they've got themselves in a room, and then the kids are coming in. They're going, Mum is on the phone at the moment. Can you go do that? So, and it is hard to juggle everything, get it all done.
Yeah, but it could be worse, couldn't it? Blimey.
Yeah. So, and because of the difficult stuff I'm dealing with, I realise how lucky we are. We've got food, we've got a house, we're warm, we're safe, we're secure. Life's okay. And for a lot of people, it's not at the moment.
No, big time. I'm trying to remember that all the time. That especially people have got all sorts going on, like you've said, in terms of being stuck at home with people they would rather not be at home with. That must be horrendous. And then there's the financial side as well. Again, we're quite lucky with a teacher wife, and my business is still ticking along quite nicely. If anything, weirdly, we're more flush than ever because we can't spend any money. So it's weird. There's that
I don't know whether I said it last time, but Robert cracked the joke that he'd read it online somewhere. Oh, my car's doing really well. It now does 4 weeks to the gallon. It's quite real. But have you seen, things like the oil price, that the oil price in America sank to minus $37 a barrel. They were paying people to take the oil away because they had production coming in and they couldn't store it. No. So they were actually paying companies to take away their oil.
Yeah.
That must have a huge effect on places like the Middle East, that they're reliant on their oil revenues.
You would think so, wouldn't you? I mean, I'm obviously fascinated by all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I can't quite. I'm not smart enough to know what that means. That crazy oil drop.
Well, it was up at $100 a barrel, and now it's down to minus 37. I mean, that's like wow.
Today I haven't even checked the price. I don't even know.
Well, the last time I filled up was Costco, and it was something like 98 pence a litre.
And that was about 2 months ago.
Yeah, that was before the big drop, so I don't know when it is now.
Yeah, true. So should we go through some of these growth zones? Because I'm assuming that people will want to get. We want to get people into this area, isn't it?
This is the point where we stop being self-obsessed and we start looking out. So rather than being in that fear zone and where we're learning to be different, where we're expecting everybody to look after us, why won't the government do this for us? We start thinking, what can we do for other people? And it is happening around us. We're seeing it going on. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I was on a call today with some other community business owners who have also either been through the program before or are new to it like me and learning the ropes. But yeah, we were chatting with someone who's got quite a well-established Merseyside-based not-for-profit organisations and some amazing work over the last few years. And how quick, like obviously when this hit a month ago or whatever, there were a couple of options people could take if they had a well-established business or a charity even. You know, it was kind of either give up and go home and just accept that it's over, or adapt and survive and even flourish. You know, even this is an opportunity.
I like the way that different companies like Burberry have started making hospital gowns and masks and things out of their wonderful fabrics. But they're actually doing something to contribute, which is amazing. You know?
Yes.
So on this growth zone, he's put down here, I think of others and I see how to help them. And that's the thing, is what can I do for you? How can I help you? Which is so different. You need to help me. It's a different, and there's that thing about if we all look after each other, we'll all be okay. It's that thing. I make my talents available to those who need them. You know, what can I do? How many people in your street need your help?
Yep.
You know,
I think a lot about this, and the call I was on today, I was talking about how now is the time to like decide on what we did, you know, what we're good at and how we can be useful coming out of this stuff or during it even, you know, what do we offer to the world? And we all have something to offer that is of use. Yeah. But we might not be, you know, utilizing those skills right now. So how can you be useful? That's the big question.
I mean, friendship and love are quite good things to actually give to other people. You know?
I would agree.
So I like this one because it says, I live in the present and I focus on the future. Now, I would put the proviso on that if you focus on the future negatively, then you start to get the fear of the future and create anxiety, as opposed to focusing on the future as in the positive. Like, wow, what are we going to do when we come out of this? Isn't it great? What can happen for us? You know.
Yeah.
And whether it is even just visualizing going to your favorite Italian restaurant to have a fabulous meal with your friends once this is over. You know, it's like focusing on that positive stuff.
I was thinking about all the flour, like what. There's all the pizza dough. I've just made another batch actually, got in the fridge tomorrow. But yeah, all the pizza restaurants are shut. So where's all the flour gone anyway?
Well, again, it was bulk bought, so that people have bought flour to hunker down on the flour. You know, that they've got the pasta, the flour, and the toilet rolls, maybe other stuff as well. I mean, one of the magic things is if you got 0.0 flour, you can make your own pasta. And stuff like that, which is good.
Indeed. Empathy is the next one mentioned. I'm empathetic with myself and with others. A lot of time, growth in terms of like business development, we'll talk about kind of ruthlessness and you know, being hard on yourself if you don't hit that target. But that's not what this is suggesting, is it? No.
And the other thing in that is that we're likely to end up feeling short-tempered. I mean, one of the things that's come out with a couple of things I've dealt with this week is fellas who aren't producing money, and so therefore see themselves as not being able to support their family, and they've got problems getting grants and money from the government, and are feeling very emasculated. Yeah.
Mm.
And there is something that goes with that, which I've had to deal with a lot over the years, is that when certain kinds of men get in that position where they feel like they've lost their power, you get a lot of issues that go with that, like kind of sexual dysfunctions, like erectile dysfunctions. People get performance anxiety, and
Right.
and then they feel even worse, and they can spiral down into that negativity. And it's that sense about feeling positive, feeling good about ourselves, making sure that we do feel happy, and giving ourselves positive feedback. I love me. Who do you love?
Yeah, I've just made a note there. There's a great little documentary series on YouTube, The Guardian have done, or journalists for The Guardian, about masculinity, which is focused on a few, I think it's about 5 or 6 episodes so far. They're all 10 minutes long, really digestible. Really worth looking at, because what does it mean to be a man now in this new age that we've that's come across us, man?
You can't go out and kill a mammoth and be all hunky, can you? You can get down to Tesco's and get a bag of sausages, but that's about as good as it gets.
I keep a happy and emotional state and spread hope. We're pretty good at that, I like to think.
Yeah, and I think that the whole idea about appreciation and happiness, I was saying earlier on to you that maybe we should rename Thursday as Clap Day, because it's the day that we go out and we show our appreciation for people that are doing good things for us. And maybe that's something that we do need to carry on once this is all over, so that we carry on that positivity of like, okay, wow, come on, let's have a day where we actually focus on the positive. It's Thursday, come on.
I haven't looked into or read much about the impacts. 100 years ago when the Spanish or the influenza flu hit, and that ripped through 30 odd million people or something crazy like that. What the impacts were. I mean, I know that the longer term impacts were, but legacy was the Great Depression and then World War II, which kind of followed after that. Whether they were linked in any way, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm really keen to read it actually, but I wonder what.
I mean, yes, there were connections, and I think that the biggest changes happened after the Second World War, and that happened because of the medical breakthroughs with things like antibiotics and stuff like that, which really changed the whole medical landscape, and obviously for us with the creation of the welfare state and the NHS. Which was just 1948.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the long term, where we'll be 20 years from now. We'll still be recording this podcast, of course, Sean.
We will.
Wonder what the world will look like, whether we'll still be doing it on Zoom or not.
Yeah, I'll be doing Captain Tom 100 laps of the garden. Not quite. Yeah. Okay. I look for a way to adapt to new changes, and isn't that real now? I mean, the amount of businesses I've been working with where people are saying, you know what, we don't think we need an office anymore. People are actually saying that to me. We need to have a get together, but we don't actually need an office. We're functioning fine. And that changes the landscape a lot, in terms of things like travel and pollution. Did you see the video this week of the jellyfish swimming up the Grand Canal in Venice?
I did not, actually. No.
It's absolutely phenomenal because the water's so clear, you can see the jellyfish swimming up the water, and you can see the reflections of the buildings in the canal. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing.
Jellyfish, Venice.
Yeah.
All right. Link in the show notes, but you haven't seen that one yet.
Absolutely. I mean, incredible. There it is. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see the buildings reflected in the water, and the water's so clear you can see the jellyfish. It's just incredible. And in that survey that was done this week about how many people want things to return to normal, they've done this week and last week. So 91% of people want things to be different. There's only 9% of people want things to go back to the way they were. Now that's a hell of a movement if it's maintained. Then maybe life can change.
I think, yeah, and I'll put that one in the show notes. That was fascinating, you know.
Yeah.
It's weird because I know a lot of people are struggling, and I hear about them struggling, and I hear stories of, you know, mental health issues and violence, which are really concerning. And then I saw that and I was like, whoa, but the next, where does that come from?
Yeah.
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 Money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop sharing now.
So the last one there is, I practice quietude, patience, relationships, and creativity, which is the whole building community stuff, isn't it? Being calm, being relaxed, being mindful. We need it.
We do, and that's something I'm missing at the moment. Really, I'm struggling to find the time for that. As ever, you know, Ed that doesn't meditate, Ed that doesn't.
One day we'll get you there. One day.
Careful what I've got all sorts going on. But I'll tell you what I did do last week. I went for a bike ride, funnily enough, but on Sunday. I needed to go and get some supplies down in Bromborough, and I had my camera on because I just wanted to record for evidence, really, what the roads are like. And then I decided to start talking as I was cycling, so I was just rambling on about how quiet the roads are and the route that I was taking, why I went that way, why I wouldn't normally go that way, and if there was the usual levels of traffic, blah 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 blah. But I found it quite therapeutic actually, so I might keep doing it. I'll put it's on YouTube, so it's about 15 minutes long. If you want it, if anyone wants to watch a really boring, like quite good to meditate to, I think, just watching Ed rambling away as he pedals along some.
Well, I've been out on my bike, the electric one, and that is such a treat to ride. I mean, forget about the idea of exercise on a bike. As a form of transport, having an electric bike, a pedal assist bike, is incredible. You know, you can go 100 miles on a charge. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I think it has been. E-bikes are the most efficient form of transport ever invented.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
A bike on its own is amazing, but yeah, with that little push.
Yeah. And the key for me is you arrive places, you're not sweating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you haven't been grunting up the hill. The bike's just flown up the hill by itself.
Really. Grunts, man. I just glide without a battery, but I only weigh 9 stone, so that might be why. You know how much you weigh. All right, cool. Well, I mean, yeah, we're just kind of rambling on a bit, but I think people, well, from the feedback I'm getting, people are quite enjoying this just weekly check-in on how everyone's doing as the situation develops and as
well, we've got a couple of people that we're going to bring in over the next few weeks, haven't we? So we'll be expanding the people on screen.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really good. And you've still got your lights in that room and your little. Have you been starting?
Yeah, I've started recording. So and I'm just starting to get going with it. It was a while to set it all up with the lighting and everything. You know,
cool.
Get the makeup right.
Cool. And you've cut your hair, or someone has.
Yeah, zoom. Yeah. That's Reed was that she gets in there.
I could do with some clippers. I've got some scissors on order coming, some thinning scissors. You get a bit unwieldy soon, but again, could be worse. But yeah, next week there could be a week where I switch the camera on and there's nothing there, so I apologise in advance.
My watch just said, "Do you know how many steps you've taken today?" And I thought, I don't really want to know because I've hardly done anything today.
Go on then.
It's trying to shame me into doing something. I've only taken 2,900 steps today, whereas I've been doing 10,000 a day. So.
Yeah, I'm on 8,500, but we've just been out for a walk on the golf course over the way there, so I think otherwise I'd be struggling. Yeah. What's your resource, Sean?
Well, my resource is something that I've been getting lots of people to do this week, and it's the Palouse.com mindfulness course, and it's an 8-session course. It's free of charge, really, really good, but it helps you focus your mind. And the kind of people I've been working with this week, I've got everybody doing it. I mean, it really is a good resource. And And the guy who does it was part of the original team that developed all the mindfulness stuff with John Kabat-Zinn. He was one of those.
Cool.
It's really good, yeah.
Marvelous. All right. I was going to mention last week, but one of the things I was wanting to do during this time, and I've managed to, is to start on some of these Studio Ghibli movies. Now they're Japanese filmmakers,
Oh, right. Yeah.
animated films. They're kind of the Japanese version of Pixar, but they do, like, they've been going around from the 80s. There's a movie called My Neighbor Totoro. They're all on Netflix, these movies. So it's a cartoon, but it's just one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. About this dad and two little girls that move to this house in the countryside, and the mum's in hospital. You don't really find out why. It's just one of those films. I've watched it twice now, and really beautiful pace and quiet way of doing things. Nothing dramatic happens really, but I mean, I do want somehow to get to Japan at some point in my life and have a look around that place, because fascinating culture, amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
So yeah, check it out.
Good one.
Right, okay, Sean, we're back next week for more. Hey,
keep smiling, stay safe.
Indeed, yeah. Thanks for your time, and we'll catch up next week.
Yeah, you take care.
See you later.
Yeah, bye now. Bye.